A few years ago, building a micro SaaS meant hiring developers, spending months in planning, and learning to code. Today, it means opening a browser and describing what you want. By the time this video is over, you will have a real app you can charge for, potentially within the next few days. This is InvoiceFlow, an invoice generator for freelancers, contractors, coaches, and anyone else who bills clients for their work. It allows users to generate professional invoices in minutes, save their clients for future use, and download a PDF they can send immediately. And of course, Stripe is already wired in for subscription billing. I built this entirely with prompts on Base 44. No coding, no developers, no technical background required. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. Every step, every prompt, every fix. It's all in the description so you can follow along and build your own. The link to Base 44 is also in the description. It's free to get started and you won't need a credit card. Just sign up with your email and build along with me. Ready? Alright, let's get into it. Step 1. Foundation. If you watched any of my previous videos, you already know how I structure my prompt sequence. The first prompt always covers the foundation, the visual design, the navigation, and authentication. I didn't ask for any features yet because the more you ask for in a single prompt, the messier the output gets. It's always cleaner to build in layers. I told Base 44 exactly what I wanted: a deep navy primary color, an accent blue, an off-white background, white cards, and a modern sans serif font. I'm keeping it clean, professional, and SaaS-like. One thing I made sure to do here, and this is important, is tell Base 44 that all data created in future steps must be tied strictly to the logged-in user's accounts. I set that up now so that every feature we build on top of it inherits that scoping automatically. And here's what came back. The nav has the InvoiceFlow name and a small document icon on the left, the 3 nav links on the right, and a logout option. The page content areas are empty for now, and that's intentional. We built on a clean foundation. Now, we build the core of the app, the invoice form. Step 2. Invoice form with client save feature. For this prompt, I asked Base 44 to build the full invoice creation experience on the invoices page. The form, the client section, the line items table, and the real-time preview panel. At the top of the form, there's a drop-down for saved clients. Right now, it's empty, but once a user has saved clients, they'll be able to select one and have all their details autofill instantly: name, company, email, and billing address. Think about how often a freelancer bills the same client month after month. Without this, they're manually typing the same name, company, email, and billing address every single time. With the Save Client dropdown, all of that fills in with just one click, which is especially useful for anyone managing multiple clients or sending recurring invoices to the same people. There's also a checkbox to save a new client directly from this form, so the system builds itself as you use it. Below that, you'll see the invoice details, the invoice number, issue, and due dates, and the user's business name, which saves their account and pre-fills every time they come back. Then there's the line items table. Each row has a description, quantity, and rate, and the total calculates automatically. The subtotal, tax rate, and grand total all update in real time as you type. On the right side, the preview panel mirrors everything. Every keystroke updates the preview instantly, so the user always knows exactly what their PDF is going to look like before they generate it. Base 44 delivered exactly what I needed here: a clean 2-column layout, a line preview working straight away, and totals calculating correctly. Now, before we move on, there are 2 minor issues I want to fix first. Step 3. Default route and nav order fix. After testing the app, I realized that I wanted the users to land directly on the invoices page after logging in, and not the clients page, which honestly should have been in the very first prompt. The invoice form is what users are here for, so it should be the first thing they see. I also reordered the nav links while I was at it, so invoices comes first instead of clients. And this is actually a good reminder for you guys following along. Always have a clear picture of your user flow before you start prompting. Think about what a brand new user does the moment they log in. That screen should be your default. Now, I know this sounds obvious, but it's really easy to miss when you're focused on getting features built. I sent Base44 a targeted prompt covering both changes, redirect to invoices after login, and reorder the nav links. Users now land exactly where they should. Now, let's tackle the next fix before we move on to building new features. Step 4. Toast notification fix. After saving an invoice, the success toast notification wasn't disappearing. I asked Base44 to fix it and make all toast notifications auto-dismiss after 3 seconds. The first attempt didn't resolve it, so I tried again. Still no luck. I ended up using Basis44 discuss feature and described the issue more specifically, explaining exactly which notification, exactly what it said, and exactly what it was doing wrong. And that is what's finally got it resolved. So if you find yourself in the same situation, setting the same fix prompt over and over and getting nowhere, just try Base44 discuss feature instead. Describe the problem clearly and let Base44 help you figure out what's actually going wrong instead of just wasting another credit on a fix prompt that might not work again. With that sorted, let's build out the client's page. Step 5. Client Manager page. For this prompt, I asked Base44 to build out the client's page as a management view, somewhere users can review, update, and delete the clients they've saved. I intentionally kept new client creation out of this page. Clients come into the system through the invoice form only, which keeps the workflow clean and intentional. The search bar at the top filters the list in real time as you type by name or company name. Each card shows the client's full name, company, and email. The edit button opens a pre-filled form so you can update any detail and save it straight back to the database. And the delete button asks for confirmation before removing anything. Base44 got this right on the first try. The cards, the search, the edit model, and the delete confirmation are all working as expected. Now, let's get to the most crucial part of the build, the PDF generation. Honestly, this is the feature I was most nervous about. I wasn't sure how Base44 would handle it. Step 6. PDF generation and download. I told Base44 to use pdf-lib and generate the file entirely in the browser. The user clicks Create PDF, sees a loading state on the button, and the file downloads automatically. I was very specific in this prompt. I listed out every single element that needed to appear in the PDF. The InvoiceFlow branding at the top, the user's business name, the client's full details, the invoice number and dates, the line items table, the totals, and a footer that reads generated by InvoiceFlow. I also specified the watermark behavior. Free plan users get a semi-transparent diagonal watermark that reads InvoiceFlow, visible enough to notice but subtle enough that the invoice is still readable. And I made sure to include users tracking. Every successful PDF download increments the user's invoice count in the database, which we'll need when we build the paywall later. Base44 got the PDF generating and downloading correctly on the first try. The content was all there too. But when I opened the file, there was a few visual issues that needed cleaning up. So let's fix those first. Step 7. PDF visual fixes. First, the subtotal and grand total were overlapping. Then there was an unnecessary horizontal line cutting between the issue date and the due date in the header. Lastly, the watermark was tiling repeatedly across the entire page instead of appearing as a one-centered diagonal stamp. I sent one prompt to address all 3 issues and asked for a general layout pass across the whole document. And now it's looking so much better. Next, I want to add payment details to the form, something I should have included in the invoice prompt, but only thought of later. And again, this is why it's worth planning your features out before you start building. The clearer your plan, the fewer gaps you will have to fill in later. Step 8. Payment details. I asked Base44 to add a payment details section to the invoice form. A freelancer needs to tell their client how to actually pay them. That's kind of the whole point of sending an invoice. The section has a method dropdown covering bank transfer, PayPal, Wise, and other, and the fields adapt based on what's selected. Bank transfer shows an account number and bank name. PayPal and Wise show an email field instead. These details are saved to the user's account just like the business name, so they pre-fill automatically on every future invoice and shows up in both the preview panel and the PDF. Step 9. Payment details PDF fix. After adding the payment details, I generated a new PDF to check it, and the payment details section wasn't showing up in the file, even though it was appearing correctly in the preview. I flagged it to base44 directly, and it resolved it in one pass. And that's exactly why you should always go through the whole user flow, from start to finish, every time you add a new feature. It takes an extra minute, I know, but it's the only way to know everything is actually working the way it should. And now that the core features are in place, let's get into the part that actually makes this a micro SaaS, the subscription system. Step 10. Stripe Paywall and subscription tiers. Everything we've built so far is the product. This prompt covers the business model. I asked Base44 to handle the full subscription system, the pricing page, Stripe integration, paywall logic, and the plan badge in the nav. The pricing page has 3 tiers: free at 5 invoices a month with a watermark PDF, starter at $12 a month for 30 clean invoices, and pro at $29 a month for unlimited invoices. I also asked Base44 to wire up Stripe in test mode so that clicking upgrade on either plan takes the user through a real Stripe checkout flow. And if you're worried about the Stripe integration being complicated, it really isn't with Base44. I just pasted in the price IDs for their starter and pro plans, and Base44 took it from there. Checkout flow, post-payment redirect, plan update in the database, all of it. Then I specified exactly how the paywall should behave. The paywall intercepts before the PDF is generated. So a free user who's hit their limits get prompted to upgrade the moment they click Create PDF. And finally, I asked for a small plan badge in the nav next to the logout option, color-coded by tier, so the user always knows what plan they're on. Base44 handled this well. The pricing page came out clean, and the Stripe checkout worked end-to-end in test mode. Okay, we're almost done. Just 2 more steps left. These are technically optional, but I always do them before I consider a build finished because the last thing you want is a fully functional app that has visual inconsistencies or data issues you didn't catch. Step 11. Polish. So first, the visual polish. The biggest mobile fix was the line items table, which was cramping all 4 columns into unreadable widths on smaller screens. I asked Base44 to stack each row as a card in mobile, description full width on top, quantity and rates side by side below it, total and delete on the last row. Now, on top of that, I cleaned up button styles across every page, added smooth hover states on nav links and client cards, balanced the spacing throughout, and updated the pricing page so the Pro plan stands out with a most popular badge and an accent border. Everything came back looking consistent and clean. The mobile layout in particular was a big improvement. The line items table is actually usable on smaller screens now. Step 12. Data consistency and routing audit. The final step is a full audit. I asked Base44 to verify that all user data is scoped correctly and that the business name and payment details pre-fill on return visits, that the client dropdown populates all fields properly, that the invoice count increments correctly, and that routing is solid across the board. I also asked it to flag anything it found beyond that list. It's always worth doing a pass like this before you consider a build done. Catching a data scoping issue now is a lot easier than explaining to 2 users why they're seeing each other's invoices. Once the audit came back clean, I ran the security scan first. Base44 has a built-in scanner that checks your apps for common vulnerabilities before it goes live. And it's always smart to do that before you publish anything. Once the scan came back clear, I hit publish. You can also connect a custom domain, so instead of using a Base44 subdomain, your app can live on your own URL. And if you want to take things even further, Base44 can actually help you turn your project into a real mobile app for the App Store and Google Play. There's a dedicated mobile app tab inside the Publish menu that walks you through the entire process, from checking your app against store guidelines to generating the iOS and Android build files, all the way to submission. So if your goal is to monetize your app or launch it to a wider audience, this is basically the path to doing that. All right, and that's InvoiceFlow, a fully working, database-backed invoice SaaS built entirely through prompts. Everything you just saw took 1 session. So the question is, can you actually build a micro SaaS with Base44? Is it worth it? And my answer to that would be yes. What we just put together would realistically take a developer several days to build from scratch. With Base44, it just took us a few hours and a well-planned set of prompts. And honestly, that's what makes it worth it for beginners. You don't need to understand the technical side of any of this. If you can describe what you want, you can build it. So, if you want to try this out yourself, the link to Base 44 is in the description. You can sign up for free and start building straight away. And if you decide to upgrade, here's a tip. Go for the yearly builder plan. The builder plan is $50 a month, but on yearly billing, that drops to just $40 a month. Plus, Base 44 gives you a 48-hour window when you first sign up to get an extra 10% off, bringing it down to around $35 per month. For what you get, 250 monthly credits, 10,000 integration credits, your own custom domain, and all the backend features you need to build something real, it's a solid deal. And if you enjoyed this video, you're definitely going to enjoy this one too, because here I built another cool app on Base 44 from scratch. So just click here and I'll see you there. Thank you for watching.